As a former prosecutor, I'm shocked a sitting judge would do this. Judge Ashley Cole, the mom of one of the men who was with Nolan Wells before he was found dead, got on Facebook claiming she wanted to dispel rumors with facts, and then laid out this whole timeline of what she says are facts of what went down that day, even though she wasn't there. And this is still an active death investigation.
Authorities in Mississippi have located a body they believe likely belongs to a teen missing since the 4th of July. 18-year-old Nolan Wells was last seen on Horn Island Saturday. The barrier island is a popular vacation spot. The local sheriff's office says Wells was there with friends for the holiday when he was reported missing.
This morning, the desperate search for answers in Mississippi after the death of 18-year-old Nolan Wells. Authorities recovering a body believed to be the teen. Investigators and volunteers from the Cajun Navy spent the weekend urgently searching for Wells after he vanished from Horn Island on July 4th.
Nolan Wells was on a boat. He left from a private dock area in the Ocean Springs area and proceeded with his friends to Horn Island.
Wells was visiting the barrier island 10 miles from the Gulf Coast, boating with friends, last seen about 3 p.m. Saturday.
They left and went back without Nolan. From what we understand, he chose to stay there.
Later that night, when he didn't return home, his mother reporting him missing to police, then quickly taking to social media, posting pictures of the teen, pleading for help finding him. The heartbreaking discovery made about 8:45 Monday morning when authorities say the Mississippi Community College wide receiver's suspected body was found in the water just off the shore.
From the very spot where the body of Nolan Wells was brought after it was recovered from the water. And his death, his mysterious death, has truly devastated this community. We're hearing now for the first time, Robin, from an eyewitness, a friend of Wells who was with him on that fateful July 4th boat trip.
I just know I've lost my best friend.
This morning, a friend of Nolan Wells, who was with the 18-year-old the day he was last seen alive, is sharing what he says happened during a July 4th boat trip to an isolated barrier island off the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Trayston Shepard declined to speak with us on camera because he says he and his friends are getting threats.
We did no wrong here, and we don't understand how we're getting so much hate behind it. We all cared and loved Nolan, and nobody wanted to see Nolan die. Nobody wanted to see his life be taken so short.
Shepard addressed this viral video that investigators have been studying. Wells's parents worried it showed their son involved in a confrontation, but Shepard said that's him, not Wells.
That's the video I'm referring to. That's me yelling.
Shepard says he took a boat back from Horn Island in the late afternoon, but Wells stayed behind with a girl he had met.
They met that day, and it was kind of one of those things. It did come off that day that he really did like her, but that was the only time they'd ever hung out was at Horn Island on July 4th.
Investigators believe Wells drowned and say there were no immediate signs of foul play. But there is growing frustration in the community, and his parents are skeptical, telling GMA Wells left his phone behind and they tracked it to one of his friends.
It was showing everywhere the phone had been, I was like, well, it's showing that he's back on land.
The sheriff said the parents have not turned over the phone to investigators. Their lawyers said they will.
An 18-year-old goes out on the 4th of July to celebrate with friends. By that night, he's missing. 2 days later, he's found dead in the water. Welcome to Caught in the Web True Crime Stories. Kindly support us by subscribing to this channel and turn the notification icon. This is the case of Nolan Wells, and it's one that split the internet. On July 4th, Nolan Xavier Wells, a wide receiver at Southwest Mississippi Community College and a graduate of Ocean Springs High School, took a boat out to Horn Island with a group of friends. Horn Island is a remote, undeveloped barrier island about 10 miles off the Mississippi coast. No facilities, no cell service, nothing but sand and water. Around 4:30 that afternoon, the group's boat reportedly started taking on water. Most of the group headed back to the mainland, but Nolan stayed behind, planning to catch a ride back later with a different group. He was last seen around 3 p.m. He never made it home. One of his friends called the Coast Guard around 11 p.m. that night. The Jackson County Sheriff's Office reportedly didn't request Coast Guard help until the next day around noon. His mother, Christine Wansley, spent that night posting on Facebook, begging for information. 2 days later, on July 6th, a National Park Service ranger found his body face down in the water off the northwestern tip of the island. Dental records confirmed it was Nolan.
Yeah, Stephanie, officials unfortunately say it appears we're dealing with a tragic ending in this case after beloved 18-year-old Nolan Wells disappeared July 4th after going on a boating trip with friends. Now, sadly, officials say a body matching the description of the 18-year-old was recovered about 8:45 this morning just off the shore of Horn Island, a popular holiday destination about 10 miles off the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Now, the teen and friends reportedly took a boat trip to the Barrier Island for the 4th of July holiday. He was last seen on Saturday at about 3 p.m. After he vanished, his family and friends making an emotional plea for help, flooding social media with pictures of the outing showing Wells and a group of friends on a boat. The 18-year-old seen holding what appears to be a hard or alcohol seltzer in his hand. The Jackson County Sheriff's Department, the Cajun Navy, and many volunteers spending much of the weekend searching for Wells. It remains unclear what exactly happened to him. Authorities say they are still working to figure out what exactly went wrong here as his community now grieves.
Almost immediately, Nolan's family hired civil rights attorney Ben Crump, the same lawyer known for representing families in several other high-profile death investigations. Crump said the family isn't accepting that Nolan simply drowned by accident, pointing out that he was a strong swimmer and an athlete.
Can you clarify for us what was going on with his cell phone?
Yeah, and that's something that's really troubling to his family as well. You know, the guys on the boat, they said Nolan stayed, but they took his cell phone. That's not adding up to them. The fact that then when the family gets the cell phone back, Lindsay, they're saying they are trying to understand why they're deleted messages. And so it's very concerning to them.
And we know that Nolan was a great athlete on the football field. Do we have any sense of how comfortable he was around water and boats?
You know, his father said he was an elite athlete, that he prided himself on his physical prowess. He said that his son could swim, and so they're just not accepting that Nolan drowned accidentally.
The sheriff's office asked the public for any photos or video from the island that day, specifically footage of possible altercations or arguments. That request alone poured gasoline on the online speculation. Here's where it gets even messier. One of the 3 teens who was on that boat with Nolan is the son of Ashley Cole, a sitting chancery judge here in Mississippi. About a week in, Cole posted publicly saying she wanted to dispel some rumors and explaining why she deactivated her Facebook after backlash. She said her son loved Nolan dearly and that her family was cooperating with investigators, but also said she hadn't yet spoken directly with Nolan's parents or their attorney. That post didn't calm things down. If anything, it poured more fuel on the fire. Critics online said a judge stepping in to defend her own son while Nolan's family was still waiting on basic answers looked less like grieving and more like getting ahead of the story. A few days later, Cole posted again, this time sharing screenshots of death threats she says her family received and announcing she wouldn't be speaking to the media further. So, sympathetic mother protecting her kid, or a public official using her platform to shape the narrative before the facts are even out? That debate is still raging online.
As a former prosecutor, I'm shocked a sitting judge would do this. Judge Ashley Cole, the mom of one of the men who was with Nolan Wells before he was found dead, got on Facebook claiming she wanted to dispel rumors with facts, and then laid out this whole timeline of what she says are facts of what went down that day, even though she wasn't there. And this is still an active death investigation. A judge commenting could influence or intimidate witnesses before they've even spoken to investigators. That is exactly what you don't want in an active investigation. It's the reason judges are held to a different ethical standard. When you're a sitting judge, you're not just another parent on Facebook. This is exactly the type of situation the Mississippi Code of Judicial Conduct is designed to prevent. Judges are expected to uphold public confidence in the judiciary, remain impartial, and avoid not just acting improperly, but even appearing to act improperly. None of this is okay.
The family later flew Nolan's body to Washington, D.C. for an independent autopsy. separate from the official one done by the Mississippi State Medical Examiner's Office. Online, 3 main theories have circulated. 1, a tragic accident. The coroner has pointed out that the currents around that part of Horn Island are notoriously dangerous, with a documented history of drownings. 2, some kind of altercation or foul play, based on the sheriff's own request for footage of possible fights and on the delayed emergency response. 3, a racial angle. Photos from the boat trip show Nolan appearing to be the only black person in the friend group, and that detail alone has fueled intense debate and comparisons across social media.
The way this country talks about black victims versus white victims is disgusting. Nolan Wells' body was found yesterday off the coast of Mississippi. If you didn't know, he was presumed missing and dead on July 4th. It is America's 250th birthday, and we're still dealing with this bullshit. He was celebrating with his friends for the 4th of July, and there's now circulating video that is going very viral of what looks to be him and his friends that he went with on the beach, and there's an argument, there's yelling happening. In the video, he looks to be very calmly standing still looking at his buddies. And somehow, the conversation is about his behavior. Why wasn't he on the boat? Was he drinking? Was he going from one boat to another? Now, I'm going to give you a scenario. It's kind of morbid, so stick with me and trigger warning. If I show up dead, washed on a beach, my community of people where I was born are not going to go, well, how was Jake acting? Did he stay where he was supposed to? Did he start an argument with people? No, it's going to go, what the fuck? We have someone that would kill people out here? Jake, I love that guy. He plays for the football team. I'm just putting myself in Nolan's shoes. Nolan plays for the team. He's friends with those people. And the conversation is about his behavior. Just so frustrating. Like, racism is still alive and well just in the dialogue. Just in the dialogue. As simple as that. I just want this country to do better. And I see a future where we just stop with this bullshit and start going like, man, this kid was killed. Like, his on the 4th of July, he is celebrating with everyone. And he can't even do that. We can do better. We gotta do better. Oh, and apparently one of the friends' moms is a local judge. And if you think that will work in Nolan's favor, you clearly don't know anything about the history of young black men in this country. This isn't gonna go anywhere. We have to speak up about it.
I just want to talk a little bit about this Nolan Wells situation. You know, the 18-year-old kid, football player, who went out on some boat ride with his friends in Mississippi, Horns Island or something, and he ends up missing, but the white dudes are there. The 3 bozos don't know where he is, right? And what's really funny is they ended up erasing their IG really quickly. And also, I guess their parents are like judges, and they're in power positions in this area. And this is Mississippi. Go figure. And what's really fucked up is this reminds me of the Carmelo Anthony situation where the father, right, the bullies that were attacking Carmelo, the father's hooked up with the judge that presided over the. You know, there's this thing of these missing black people, and these white motherfuckers always have somebody in the court system. It's very weird. You know, it doesn't seem that strange nowadays. You know, random black kids hanging. There's another kid that just was at a festival, some festival, and he was found hanging. Yo, listen, man, what's really messed up is there's footage of this kid having an argument with the white dudes. They're having an argument with them. Like, hey, you can't get back on the boat. There's an argument. It's a real quick video.
Look, I'm gonna die. Wait, I ain't got the ball. You gotta learn how to swim. You can swim down wherever you fucking retard. I think I'm staying here. Look at that. We know. We can tell. I'm looking at you. I'll just wait. Bro, you have a life jacket. No, I'm black. It doesn't matter. It's not the same. Bro, yes it does. Bro, I'll just find a way. Bro, you have a life jacket. I'm gonna die. I'm never coming back with y'all.
It's f***ed up. Listen, I believe that they did it. I believe they did it. They did it. Plain and simple, they did it. You know, what a black kid, he just went and committed suicide. They always say black kid, oh, he committed suicide. First of all, black people don't do that like that. They don't do that. I'm not saying they don't commit suicide, but they don't do like that. They don't hang themselves up by trees. You need a group of people to do that. You understand? So I hope that this gets investigated, because this is some bullshit. It's pathetic.
Nolan fucking well. My question is, what is it going to take? What is it actually going to take for some arrests to be made in this situation? You see this photo right here? Allegedly, this photo was taken at the pool party after they all came back from the island. You know, something that really bothered me with this whole thing was, why was his phone pinging off the island when his mom was trying to ping the phone? Why wasn't it somewhere on the island so he could be found quicker? The reason is because they had the phone. They had the phone the whole time because he was at this pool party. Why allegedly was there no water found in his lungs? Why allegedly did they request dental records? Why allegedly did he have bruises all over his body? Let's get into that fucking part, because we got another girl who was at this party who has written out a witness statement saying she was there and this is what happened. Bro, Nolan didn't get into a fight at the island. I was our other friend, No Wyatt, did get into an altercation right after that. Not even 10 minutes later, because Wyatt took his phone. And Wyatt and Evan were trying to be hard, so Nolan was definitely screaming, "Give my phone back, N-word. What's wrong with you?" So they all calmed down, and that's when they all head to Evan's house because he was throwing a pool party. So yeah, No came to the party, and yes, we were all drinking, but Juan and Evan and Morgan and Andrew got really high, and I think they were trying to get Lucy and Natalia to try something as well. But yes, they got into it again at the pool party, which didn't end till almost 1 a.m. I know Evan's mom kicked us out all at once because once they started fighting, it was Andrew and Evan, and Wyatt and Warren was basically recording and laughing, saying, "Get him." And all I could hear was Nolan screaming, "Mom." So yes, I tried helping. Then his mom came out screaming, yelling, drunk, because she was drunk, making us leave, saying she was going to cops on us if they didn't leave the house. But they didn't let No leave. And No was by the basketball goal on the inside of the pool when he was leaning over because he was gasping for air and spitting up blood. But I've called No's mom, and she knows now. I just got off the phone with her. What exactly is it going to take? We now have a photo of him at the party after the beach incident. Witnesses, multiple witnesses, this is only one of them, saying he was at this party and was violently assaulted and then was taken back to the island that night. Later, when he went to Nolan, one of the friends went to Nolan's house to pick up his car, he says to the father, "He was my best friend." Was. So my question is this: what the fuck is it going to take for us to start seeing arrests made?
Secret Service Sam here with a Nolan Xavier Wells update. This is something a little bit shocking. Somebody just reached out to me on Facebook. He's verified that he has been talking with the investigators, as you can see in this screenshot, and I'll just read you our conversation. "I was on Horn Island on the 4th. I have information I will share with you, but for obvious reasons would like to keep certain parts a secret as they would absolutely damage the investigation. Let me know if you want. I've had several conversations with investigators. I can be seen in the video in question regarding an altercation." I said, "Oh, sure. Were you really there?" "I was there during the video in question. I can be seen on the far right walking away." "Okay, great. What would you like to say? I will not use your name or anything." Then he sent me these screenshots of the phone calls. I said, "I believe you. What would you like to share with me? Thanks. I've been working with investigators. I walked through right after a real fight broke out. I didn't see Nolan or the friends he rode there with around, but I have reason to believe Nolan was part of that fight. What do you think happened to Nolan? Why do you think he was part of the fight? Doesn't matter what I think, only the evidence and where it might lead. I didn't see Nolan's friends he rode with, but the friends who he was supposed to be catching a ride home with appear to be lying based on what I saw and what they're saying. The investigators had been following up with me for new details as new evidence emerges. Between you and me, they believe to have identified the suspect if what I witnessed was connected. So I know they're working hard to get to the bottom of it." Wow, can you say what you witnessed? I can't. They would use it to build their story and taint the investigation.
Though investigators have not confirmed any connection between Race and his death, as of now, no cause or manner of death has been officially released. Toxicology results are reportedly still pending. Nolan's parents met with the Jackson County District Attorney in mid-July, and Crump has said the findings will ultimately go before a grand jury. The FBI has assisted Jackson County investigators, though local authorities remain in charge of the case. Nolan Wells will be laid to rest in Ocean Springs, with his funeral expenses reportedly covered by actor Tyler Perry. But for his family, and for the internet watching closely, the biggest question still hasn't been answered. What actually happened to Nolan on that island? We'll keep following this one as more comes out. If you want us to cover the next update the moment it drops, hit subscribe.